Hello everyone, welcome to the tutorial video of Field.ai. So, the agenda of this video is to cover the use case of plant maintenance and its processes by navigating to the Onfinity system. So let us move to the use case of plant maintenance. Now we will discuss this by using a use case. Named Breakdown Maintenance of Industrial Air Compressor, a business user reported a problem with one air compressor. The issue was that the pressure was inconsistent. Sometimes it is too high or too low. After the complaint was registered, the maintenance department got a notification. They sent a technician to the site to inspect and fix the problem. When the technician arrived, he found that a new air intake filter needed to be installed. He installed the filter. During the inspection, the technician realized that he needed to add another follow-up task to fix the issue properly. However, he couldn't install it immediately at that time. So, the technician created a follow-up task for this valve installation and assigned it to another technician. The second technician accepted the task using the mobile application, and another technician reached the location the next hour and completed the follow-up task, along with the installation of the new pressure control valve spare part. After that, the technician confirmed the request, and the supervisor completed the request. In the Onfinity system, the user can perform all these steps by using the mobile application. This includes reporting issues, creating and accepting tasks, updating progress, and closing requests. But this we can discuss in later videos. So, this is the list of processes that we have to cover in Field.ai by navigating to the Onfinity system. So, let us move to the Onfinity system to understand it in more detail. The user enters the valid credentials and clicks on the login button to access the Onfinity system. This is the landing page of the Onfinity system. When the user clicks on this icon, the user can view the login details such as role, client, and organization. The user can change the organization by using the dropdown. But for now, I have selected Express Organization. The user clicks on the menu, selects Field.ai, and selects Service Center, clicks Maintenance Work Order, and the work order screen will open. This is the landing page of the work order screen. Basically, in Field.ai, the maintenance work order is created with the reference of service request and with the reference of maintenance work schedule so that we can discuss each one by one. First, we will learn how to create the service request in the Onfinity system. To create the service request, the user navigates to the menu, enters service request manually to access the service request screen, or clicks on Field.ai menu, selects Service Center, and selects Service Request screen. The Service Request screen will open. This is the landing page of the Service Request screen. The screen is divided into two parts. Here, all the visits are available associated with the service request. Basically, a service request is a formal document created by the operations department to initiate maintenance services, including breakdown repair, preventive maintenance, and other asset-related services. To view the request, the user clicks on this icon, and here all the created service requests are visible. To create the service request, the user clicks on the New Record button, and the screen will open in the single view. By default, the login organization is displayed, but the user can change it accordingly based on the requirement. Request number is auto-populated when the user clicks on the Save button after filling in all the relevant details. Request date is basically the creation date of the service request, which is automatically populated with today's date. But the user can change the date by clicking on the date picker icon. For example, I have selected 30th July 2025 as maintenance type. The user selects the type of maintenance to be provided. Basically, it is the document type that the user needs to select. For example, I have selected breakdown maintenance from the dropdown. The user selects the maintenance group, that is, group of persons who are responsible for performing the services. I have selected from the dropdown, for example, preventive group. Select the downtime reason from the dropdown option. For example, I've selected inconsistent pressure output. Problem start date. Select the exact date and time when the issue is first detected by clicking on the local date and time picker icon. The user selects 29th and for example, I have selected 12:30 p.m. It indicates the problem will start from the 29th of July 2025 at 12:30 p.m. Select the asset for which the service request is created. By clicking on the asset info icon, the list of assets will appear on the user screen. The user enters the name of the asset in the search field and presses enter to filter out the asset. I have selected centrifugal compressor asset and clicked on OK button to confirm, and the asset is selected successfully. Select the status of the asset from the drop-down, whether it is operational or non-operational. For now, I have selected the operational status and set the priority, which is urgency level of the request. I have selected high. The user selects the warehouse in which the spare part quantities are available. I have selected Alfie Warehouse and select the locator. Locator basically represents the exact location where the spare parts are available. The user can also select the work center, which indicates a designated area where specific tasks or operations are performed. It is linked to a specific locator within the warehouse, and this configuration is defined on the Work Center screen. That was already discussed in the service and maintenance setup video. The user selects the type of service required for the maintenance of the asset. For example, I selected mechanical and maintenance services. Target update time specifies the date and time when the service is completed. For example, on 30th July and 5 p.m. in the evening. The user can enter additional notes or information related to the service request based on the requirement and click on the Save button to save the changes. As you can see, the request number is automatically populated when the user clicks on the Save button. To view the request in the grid view, the user clicks on the back button, presses Alt+T to view the single record. After entering all the relevant details, the user needs to complete the service request by clicking on Complete button, and a pop-up will appear on the user screen. The user selects the option Complete and clicks on OK button to complete the service request, and the service request is completed successfully. Document status is changed to completed, and completed message appears on the user screen. Now let us understand how to create a maintenance work schedule in the Onfinity system. To open the maintenance work schedule screen in the Onfinity system, the user clicks on the menu and types Maintenance Work Schedule manually in the menu. Otherwise, the user clicks on Field.ai menu and selects Service Center. Click on Maintenance Work Schedule to open the screen, and the screen will successfully open in the user system. The maintenance work schedule in the service and maintenance module is created by the original equipment manufacturer to plan and manage routine maintenance tasks for equipment. It allows for the creation of preventive maintenance schedule, assigning specific tasks to technicians, and tracking the completion of tasks. To create the maintenance work schedule in the Onfinity system, the user clicks on the New Record button, and the record will open in the single view. By default, the login organization is displayed, but the user can change it from the drop-down based on the requirement. Work schedule number is auto-populated when the user clicks on the Save button after filling in all the relevant details based on the maintenance work schedule. Work schedule date indicates the date on which the maintenance work schedule is created. By default, it is auto-populated with today's date, but the user can change the date by clicking on the date picker icon and selecting the date. For example, I have selected 30th July 2025. The user selects the type of maintenance to be provided. Basically, it is the document type that user needs to select. Maintenance type is visible, whose document type as work schedule is defined on the document type screen that we already covered in the plant and maintenance document type configuration video. So we select preventive maintenance for now. The user selects the maintenance strategy, which indicates the maintenance required at specific intervals. For example, I have selected every month. The user selects the maintenance group, a group of persons responsible for the maintenance services. For example, I have selected preventive group. Select the asset for which the maintenance work schedule is created. Click on Asset Info icon and the list of assets will appear. The user enters the name of the asset in the name field and presses Enter to filter out the data and select Asset, and click on OK button to confirm. Select the status of the asset from the drop-down, whether it is operational or not operational. For example, I have selected a non-operational asset. By default, priority is selected based on the asset, but the user can change the priority of the asset or the priority of the maintenance work schedule by clicking on the drop-down. For now, I have selected the default priority. The user selects the type of service required for the maintenance of asset. For example, mechanical maintenance services. The user selects the warehouse where the spare part quantities are available from the drop-down, for example, Alfie Warehouse, and selects the locator of the warehouse that represents exact location where spare parts are available. The user selects the work center, which indicates a designated area where specific spare parts or tasks are performed. It is linked to a specific locator within the warehouse, and this configuration is defined on the Work Center screen that we already covered in the Service Maintenance Setup video in the Master Setup videos. The user enters additional notes or information related to the maintenance work schedule in the description field. The user can also give the reference if the user wants to give any existing maintenance work schedule reference. Enter the contract validity date, which indicates till when the contract is valid. Plan work order date specifies the date and time when the service is to be completed. By clicking on the date picker icon, the user can define the date. For example, 30th July. The user enters the tolerance before percentage, which indicates the maximum percentage of the scheduled time before the planned start time that a task can begin without being considered early. For example, I have entered 10% tolerance before percentage. Tolerance after percentage indicates the maximum percentage of the scheduled time after the planned start time that a task can start without being deemed late. For example, I entered 12% and click on Save button. After saving the record, the work schedule number is auto-populated. To view the record in the grid view, the user clicks on the back button and will see the record in the grid view. To open the record in the single view, the user presses Alt+T shortcut key to toggle the record. Now the user needs to add the task by clicking on Add Task button, and a pop-up will appear on the user screen. The user selects the task group from the drop-down. For example, preventive maintenance for set compressor. All the tasks that are linked with these task groups are visible on the user screen. The user selects any task or selects all the tasks. For example, for now, I have selected Check Oil Level in Gearbox task and clicked on OK button to add the task, and the task will be successfully inserted. Click on Cross button to close the pop-up. Now the user will navigate to the Task Details tab and view the task. As you can see, the task is already added in the maintenance work schedule. The user can toggle the task by pressing Alt+T shortcut key, and the record will open in the single view. After adding the task, checklist, and maintenance tool, and spare parts associated with this task are auto-populated on the respective screens that we already covered in the master setup video of Task Group. Now the user clicks on Back button to view the record in the grid view. Now the user clicks on Back button to return to the header. Click on Back button and click on Complete to complete the maintenance work schedule. By default, Complete action is visible. Click on OK to complete the record, and the maintenance work schedule is successfully completed. As shown in the header panel, document status is also updated to complete. Go back. We will learn how to create a maintenance work order in the Onfinity system with the reference of a service request. The user clicks on Menu, types manually Maintenance Work Order. Otherwise, the user clicks on Field.ai menu and selects Service Center and clicks on Maintenance Work Order to open the screen. This is the landing page of the Maintenance Work Order screen. When the user clicks on this icon, the user can view the records. To create the record in the Onfinity system, the user clicks on New Record button, and the record will open in single view. By default, the login organization is visible, but the user can change the organization from the drop-down. By default, on the work order date, today's date is visible, but the user can change it by clicking on the Date Picker button. To create a maintenance work order, the user must select the service request option in the work order type to create the maintenance work order with the reference of service request. The user needs to select the service request number from the drop-down list. In the service request, for example, I have selected BSR 7th, and all the details that are based on the service request are auto-populated, as you can see. When the user clicks on the Save button, the work order number is auto-populated, as you can see. To add the task, the user clicks on Create Task button, and a pop-up will appear on the user screen. The user selects the task group from the drop-down. For example, I have selected Preventive Maintenance for Compressor, and all the tasks that are associated with the selected task group are visible on the user screen. The user selects the specific task, for example, Inspect and Clean Air Filters, and clicks on OK button to add the task. Click OK. A pop-up will appear. Line inserted successfully. The user clicks on Close button to close the pop-up and navigates to the Task Details tab. As you can see, the task is successfully added in the maintenance work order. The user presses Alt+T to toggle the record. Based on the selected task, the checklist, maintenance rule, and spare parts data are auto-populated on the respective screens based on the configuration of task that we already covered in the master configuration video of task group. Now, the user views the checklist by navigating to the Checklist tab and presses Alt+T shortcut key to toggle the record. Here, click on Back button to view the record in the grid view and return to the header. Go back to view the Maintenance tool. The user clicks on Maintenance tool button and navigates to the Maintenance tool tab. The Maintenance tool is auto-populated based on the task group. The user presses Alt+T shortcut key to toggle the record, and the record will open in single view, as you can see. Click on Back button to view the record in the grid view, and click on Back button to navigate to the Task Details tab. To view the Spare Parts and Services, the user clicks on Spare Part Services tab, and the user will view the spare part and presses Alt+T shortcut key to toggle the record, and the record will open in single view. As you can see, all the details are auto-populated. Click on Back button to view the record in the grid view, and click on Back button to return to the Task Details tab. Now the user needs to assign this task to the resource by navigating to the Scheduling and Dispatching form that we will discuss. Now the user clicks on Back button to return to the header of the Maintenance Work Order screen, and clicks on Back button to view the record in the grid view. The record is successfully created and visible in the grid view. Now we will discuss how to create a maintenance work order based on the maintenance work schedule. To create the work order, the user clicks on New Record button, and the record will open in the single view, as you can see. By default, Login Organization is visible, but the user can change the organization from the drop-down. By default, Work Order Date is selected as today's date, but the user can change the date by clicking on the Date Picker icon. Currently, I am selecting the default date. To create the maintenance work order, the user must select the work order type from the drop-down. That is Work Schedule, because I am creating the maintenance work order with the reference of the maintenance work schedule. So I selected Work Schedule option. Now, the user can select the work schedule number from the drop-down. For example, after selecting the work schedule number, all the details that are based on the maintenance work schedule are auto-populated on the maintenance work order screen. As you can see, the user can define the current meter reading for the compressor asset if they want to. The user clicks on Save button to save the relevant details of the work order. By clicking on Save button, the work order number is automatically generated. Now, the user navigates to the Task Details tab, and the task is added on the user screen. Because I added the task on the maintenance work schedule, that task is auto-populated on the maintenance work order. Also, because I am creating maintenance work order with the reference of maintenance work schedule. To toggle the record, the user presses Alt+T to toggle the record, and the record will open in the single view. Based on the task, the checklist, maintenance tool, and spare part data are automatically fetched. By navigating to the Checklist tab, the user can view the checklist, and clicks on Back button to return to the Task Details tab. and navigates to the Maintenance Tools tab to view the maintenance tools required to perform this task, that is, Filter Pruner task. Click on Back button to return to the Task Details tab. The user clicks on Spare Parts Services tab to view the spare parts list required for performing the check oil level increase task. Click on Spare Parts tab. These are the spare parts required for performing the task. Click on Back button to return to the header. Now click on Back button to view the record in the grid view. The record is successfully visible in the grid view, as you can see. Now click on Back button to return to the header of the maintenance work order. If the user needs to provide the services of maintenance work order on the asset location, then the user will navigate to the Additional Details tab and mark Use Asset Location checkbox, and the asset location that is defined on the Equipment Master Setup screen is auto-populated. Click on Save button. That means this maintenance work order service needs to be provided on the asset location. Click on Back button to return to the header. Now the user needs to assign this task to the particular resource by navigating to the Scheduling and Dispatching form. User clicks on Menu, enters Scheduling and Dispatching in the menu to open the form. Otherwise, the user clicks on Field.ai menu and selects Service Center, and clicks on Scheduling and Dispatching form. Now we will discuss how to schedule and assign tasks to a particular resource. Basically, scheduling and dispatching form is divided into two parts, the left section and the middle section. In the left section, all the open tasks are visible, and in the middle section, the resources that are available in the fixed themes are visible. Suppose I have to assign check oil level in gearbox work order task to Johan Doe. Then I will drag it to Johan Doe, and it is successfully assigned to Johan. By clicking on Schedule Task button, a pop-up will appear on the user screen, and the user can create the schedule according to the resource availability by clicking on Add button. By default, today's date is visible, and the time range is set to 30 minutes. It shows the start time and the end time of the schedule. But for example, I have selected to schedule this task for tomorrow, like 31st July, and time range is 1 hour, time is 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., and mark the schedule OK, and click on Save button to create the schedule. Click on Schedule button to confirm the schedule, and the schedule is successfully created and removed from here because when the user clicks and navigates to July 31st, then it is visible as you can see, scheduled for 1 hour. After scheduling the task to the resource, the user can view this task in the scheduled area. By clicking on this icon, it will navigate the user to the scheduled area screen of scheduling and dispatching form. Only scheduled tasks are visible on this view. Here, the user can view the scheduled task, that is, check oil level in gearbox task. It is scheduled to Johan Doe on 31st July 2025, on Thursday, between 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. All the scheduled tasks are visible in this area. In the scheduled area, the user has the option to view the scheduled tasks for the resource on a daily or weekly basis. When the user clicks on weekly basis, this will show the weekly scheduled tasks to the resources, as you can see now. I have converted to the daily schedule, and now the user can view the map view by clicking on this icon. This is the map view. When the user clicks on this icon, the user can view the scheduled task. By default, scheduled tasks are visible in the map view, but the user can also view the assigned tasks and open tasks by checking this checkbox. All the assigned and open tasks are visible on the user screen. Gray color indicates the open tasks that are not assigned to any resource, and green color depicts the scheduled tasks. Now, we will navigate to the Maintenance Work Order screen to view the assigned resource and the created schedule by clicking on Maintenance Work Order. The work order screen will open. The user presses shortcut key Alt+T to toggle the record, and the record will open in single view. Navigate to the Task Details tab. Here, the details of the task are visible. Press Alt plus T shortcut key to toggle the record. As you can see, I have assigned this task to Johan Doe and created the task schedule. Navigate to the Task Schedule tab and toggle the record by pressing Alt plus T shortcut key. As you can see, I have scheduled this task for 31st July 2025 at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. That means this task will take 1 hour to perform. That means scheduled hours are 1. Click on Back button to view the record in the grid view, and click on Back button to return to the Task Details tab. The task is successfully scheduled. So, after assigning this specific task to the resource and creating schedules for the resource, the plant admin will navigate to the header by clicking on Back button and update the work order status. For example, currently, work order status is set as open, but the plant admin will click on Update Status button and a confirmation message will appear on the user screen. The plant admin will provide the confirmation by clicking on OK and set the work order status to assigned and click on OK button. Now the task is successfully assigned to the specific resource. The resource will navigate to the Task Details tab and press Alt plus T shortcut key to toggle the record. Now, the resource will check the spare parts that are required to perform the task by navigating to the Spare Part and Services tab. This will show that these 2 spare parts are required to perform the task, with the quantity of oil filter spare part as quantity 2 and CLO and O-ring quantity 5. Now, the resource will request the warehouse manager to issue these products from inventory. After that, the warehouse manager will install the quantity by navigating to the menu. Enter Inventory Use to open the screen, and the Inventory Use screen will successfully open in the user system. This is the landing page of the Inventory Use screen. The user needs to change the view to Records, and the user will navigate to the Inventory Use screen. To issue the inventory, the warehouse manager will click on the New Record button, and the record will open in the single view. By default, the login organization is visible, but the user can change the organization from the drop-down. By default, only the warehouse configured to the organization is visible, but the user can change the warehouse. For example, I have selected LT Warehouse because I have created the work order with the LT Warehouse. Select the document type, Internal Use Inventory. By default, the movement date is set to today's date. If the user wants to enter any additional notes, they can do so. To issue the inventory, the user clicks on the Create Lines from Work Order button, and a pop-up will appear on the user screen. The user clicks on the Maintenance Work Order info icon and selects the order. The user selects the work order for which the user needs to install the spare parts quantity. For example, I have selected work order number 292 and clicked on the OK button to confirm. And the spare parts required to perform this work order task are visible on the user screen. The user selects the required spare parts and clicks on OK, and the lines are successfully inserted on the user screen. The user can check the lines by navigating to the Lines tab, and seal and O-ring, oil, and filter are successfully inserted. The user clicks on the Back button to return to the header and clicks on the Complete button. Click OK, and the inventory is successfully issued to the technician. Now we will understand the impact of inventory use on the maintenance work order screen. Once the inventory is issued by the warehouse manager, the user will navigate to the maintenance work order screen and the Spare Parts Services tab. Here, the Material Issue checkbox is automatically marked as true, indicating that the material is successfully issued for this product with the quantity of 5. Now the user needs to perform the task by using the mobile application. So we will proceed with the mobile application. To access the mobile application, the user clicks on the menu, enters Mobile Linking, and clicks on Mobile Linking. The form will open. From here, the resource can scan the QR code to access the Field.ai mobile application. To perform the task through the mobile application, the user needs to click on Field.ai mobile application to open it. After clicking on the Field.ai application, the user needs to provide permission by clicking on the All button. After providing permission, the user will scan the QR code that is open in the Onfinity system through the mobile linking form. After scanning the QR code, it will open the mobile application, and the user needs to enter valid login credentials to access the mobile application. After entering the password, the user clicks on the Done button, and the user will navigate to the password screen. If the user wants to set a password for the Field.ai application, it can be set as either a PIN or for the touch sensor. If the user doesn't want to set a password, they simply click on the Skip button and will access the Field.ai mobile application. To view scheduled tasks, the resource can click on the Scheduled button, and it will show all the scheduled tasks assigned to the specific resource. The user clicks on the resource, and it will show the scheduled review date. For example, a task scheduled on 31st July between 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. To proceed with the task, the resource clicks on the Proceed button, and it will navigate the user to the task detail screen. Here, the resource can view the asset detail, document number, asset location, and asset image. By using directions, the user can navigate to the map and reach the asset location by following the map. To start the task, the user can view the checklist details. The user can view spare parts details by navigating to the Spare Part tab, and the tool details by navigating to the Tools tab, and files uploaded against this task by navigating to the Files tab. The user will navigate to the Details tab and click on Start Task to begin performing the task, and the timer will begin on the user screen. On the right side, the estimated hour to perform the task is visible, and actual time required to perform the task is visible. Now the user navigates to the Spare Part tab. The user needs to install the spare part quantity required to perform the task by clicking on this icon. A pop-up will appear. The user selects the quantity of spare part, clicks the minus icon to decrease, or the plus icon to increase the quantity, and clicks on Install to install the quantity. The quantity is successfully installed. To install another spare part, click again on the spare part icon, select the quantity, for example 3, and click on Install. The quantity is successfully installed. To add any additional spare part, click on Add Spare Part. Write the spare part name, for example screws. The locator and quantity details are displayed. The user selects the quantity, for example 2, and clicks on Submit to add the additional spare part. However, in front of this spare part, the key icon is not visible because this spare part is not issued yet. So, the user simply navigates to the Checklist tab after performing the task to fill the checklist and fills out the checklist. For example, inspect oil color and consistency working OK. If the user wants to upload any images associated with this checklist, they can do so. For now, I am clicking directly on the Submit button, and the actual work result is updated successfully. And check all files. Click on Submit button. To add any additional checklist, click on Add New Checklist. The user can also use the AI to ask questions while performing the task. For example, by clicking on the Aura icon, it will navigate to the Ask Aura chat. The user can ask questions, for example, what are the generic principles for compressors? As you can see, Aura will provide the answer to the technician. The technician can ask multiple questions from Aura while performing the task. To close the screen, click on the Back button. By clicking on Process, the timer will stop and a pop-up will appear. Provide the confirmation by clicking OK, and the task is successfully completed. Now the technician will enter the cause code and task completion note if required. For example, I have entered cause code as misalignment and task completion note added due to alignment issue. After entering the cause code and task completion note, click on Yes to complete the task. By clicking Yes, a confirmation appears and the user will confirm. The schedule is successfully completed and a notification is received by the resource. As you can see, there are now 0 tasks. If the user navigates to the scheduled task, the schedule is removed from this screen because the task has already been performed. Now, we will check the impact of task completion on the maintenance work order screen. The user selects the record and presses Alt+T to toggle the record, and navigate to the Task Details tab. Toggle the record by pressing Alt+T. As you can see, the task completion note and the cause code are automatically populated through the mobile application, and the task performed checkbox is marked as true, indicating that the specific task is completed by the technician. Now navigate to the Spare Part and Services tab. For the list of spare parts that are required for performing the task, there are 3 spare parts available because I added 1 spare part, 4mm screws, through the mobile application. The entered quantity is 2. Press Alt+T to toggle the record, and the record will open in the single view. As you can see, I added 1 spare part from the mobile application, 4mm screws with a quantity of 2, and the on-hand quantity in warehouse is 998. For this spare part, the material is not issued yet, so the material issue checkbox is marked as false. Navigate to another spare part by clicking the drop-down. This is the seal O-ring spare part, and the required quantity for this spare part is 5. In the warehouse, the available quantity is 725, and the cost of this spare part is $1,100. If calculating total cost, $1,100 is the price per spare part, and 5 are required, so 5 into $1,100, $5,500 is the total cost. In the install quantity field, only 3 quantities are updated because while performing the task, the resource installed only 3. The material issue checkbox is true for this product. Click on Back to view the record in the grid view. Click on Back to view the Task Details tab. View the checklist status by navigating to the Checklist tab. As you can see, the actual result of the checklist is updated successfully. Press Alt+T to toggle the record. The actual result of the checklist is updated because the resource filled the checklist while performing the task. After performing the task, go to the Drawer section by clicking on 3 ellipses, select Document Search, enter the document number, for example, 92, and click on Submit to submit the request and the record. Now the record is filtered on the basis of the applied filter. Select the work order record and navigate to the work order detail screen. Here, the user needs to update the work order status after completion of the task by clicking on Assign Status, and a pop-up will appear. Select the work order status from the drop-down. The list of statuses will appear on the user screen. Select the status, for example, Completed, and click on OK to confirm. As you can see, the work order status is completed successfully. After updating, the work order status is completed. The added date field indicates the date and time when the status is updated. To add any additional task in the existing work order, navigate to the Task tab. Here, the user has 2 options to add a task. By clicking on Task Group, all task groups configured on the Task Group screen are visible. And to add any additional task instantly as an ad hoc task, click on the Task Description button and enter Follow-up Task. After entering the task name, if the user wants to self-assign the task, mark this checkbox as true. If the task should be assigned to another resource, keep it unchecked and click on Submit. The task is successfully added in the Task tab. This task will be visible in the Open Task section in the mobile application because it is not assigned to any resource. Navigate to the Details and click on Work Order Number print icon to check the work report by clicking on the Work Report icon. The Maintenance Work Order print format will open. The user can view the task checklist and the spare part details. Now we will discuss the impact on the maintenance work order screen. As you can see, work order status is updated as completed because I have updated the work order status from the mobile application as completed, and the time and date are updated. Navigate to the Task Detail tab. As you can see, there are 2 records because I added 1 more additional task from the mobile application. Press Alt+T to toggle the record, and the follow-up task is successfully created. This task is not assigned to any resource because it has been created as an open task. Click on Back. Click on Back again. To complete the maintenance work order, click on the Complete button and a pop-up appears. Click on OK to complete the record. As you can see, the work order status is completed and the document status is updated as completed. So this is the process of maintenance work order in Field.ai. Now we will learn how to create a maintenance work order from the mobile application Field.ai. Click on the icon so the app will land on the dashboard or home screen. On the home screen, you will find the button to create a service request. Click on it. Currently, I'm logged in with the admin credentials, so I am able to see both options, Field Service Request and Maintenance Work Order. If I'm logged in with the Maintenance Admin, then I will only see Work Order. And if logged in with Field Service Admin, then I will only see the Field Service option. Let me select Work Order here and click on the Next button. In this field, you have to select the asset on which you want to perform maintenance activity or service. Let me select Generator 500. Upon selection, the system will ask other details about the maintenance. What is the maintenance type? Let me select Corrective Maintenance. What is the maintenance group this activity belongs to? Let me select Maintenance Group. What is the asset status? Online means the asset is currently working. Offline means the asset is not working. You can switch between online and offline. In the Last Service section, you will see the details of the last service done on this asset, and when you click on the service history, you will see all service history for the selected asset. Click on Next. Here, you have to define the priority of the maintenance work order. Let me select High. Select the warehouse, then the locator, and Work Center. Work Center is the exact location where the asset is present. Next, select the service type. Let me select Calibration Services. Enter the current meter reading. Whenever a technician or resource performs any maintenance activity on any asset, they record the meter reading to track how many operating cycles or hours the machine has completed before requiring service. The last recorded is 90, so let me record it as 100. If I enter less than 90, the app will show an error that current meter reading is less than the existing. Now click on Next and share about the problem. Let me select Mechanical Failure. Enter the description of the problem or failure. Let me write Generator is not working. Next, you have to define the downtime start date and time. Let me select today at 11:45 a.m. Confirm target uptime. What is the target uptime for this task? Let me select 1:50 p.m. Click on Next. Here you have to select the task group and task. Select Task Group first. Let me select Basic Inspection General Service Task. After selecting Task Group, mark the tick. Now, you will see the Task Group selection and have to add task for this maintenance work order. Select Basic Inspection of the machine and mark the tick. Whether you want to self-assign or assign to another resource, you can select that. After selecting Task Group and Task, click Next. The last page is the review request. Review all the entry details, then click Submit to create the maintenance work order. Upon creation, you'll see a notification message that a new work order is created successfully with document number 295, status drafted. To upload any file against this work order, click on the Upload icon, select the folder, Upload File, Camera, Gallery, or Storage. Save, and Next. This will take a few seconds. You will see the notification that document is uploaded, and a thumbs up shows document successfully uploaded. Go back to Dashboard. Go to Open section to see the created work order, 295 document number selected. This is how we can create a maintenance work order using the mobile application. Now let's move to the Onfinity system to see the details of the created maintenance work order. Either go by clicking on Maintenance Work Order or search in the menu. View Records. This is the work order created from the mobile application. A service request has been automatically created against this work order, corrective maintenance. We have defined the description as en route is not working, entered the current meter reading as 100, target uptime, and work order start time automatically updated. Problem start time as per the configuration. Current work order status is open as we have not assigned this work order to any resource. This is the task, basic inspection of the machine, that we added to this record. Noted, I have uploaded a photograph in the upload section from the mobile application. Now, to find that uploaded picture, go to Record 295, Right Action Panel, then click on 3 icons, and then View Document. This will redirect the system to the image uploaded against this document into DMS, Document Management System. Click on the image and let it load. This image is the same one uploaded from the mobile application. Let's go back to PPT. Now, inventory count is a process of physically verifying and recording the quantities of products held in stock at a specific location or across multiple locations, locators. It helps ensure that the actual stock on hand matches records in the inventory management system. Inventory counting is essential for identifying discrepancies, preventing stock shortages and overages, maintaining accurate financial records, and supporting effective inventory control. A business may need to count inventory so that components, parts, or raw materials can be restocked as needed. Now we will see how to create an inventory count document in our Onfinity system. For that, go to Onfinity System first. This is the landing page of Onfinity System. To go to the inventory count screen, click on Menu and search for Inventory Count. Open it, go to Records, click on New Record to create a new one. Upon clicking, in the Document Type field, select Physical Inventory. In the Warehouse field, select the warehouse in which you want to update the quantity. Let me select LC Warehouse to update the quantity of the particular product. This is the movement date. I am selecting this and click Save to save this inventory count record. Now go to the Line tab. Click on New Record to create a new line. Select Locator. This locator is filtered based on the selected warehouse. Now select the product for which you want to update the quantity. Let me select Coffee Machine Filter. Physically, I counted 20, but in the system we have only 10. As on date count is 10 in the system, adjustment type is set to quantity difference. Also, let me show you the locator stock for this product. Zoom to locator. Check stock. Go to page number 2. Here you find Coffee Machine Filter Nylon has on hand quantity 10, and the system has only 10. Physically, I counted 20 more, so I will update as 30. Set as on date count to 30. Click Save to save. Then click Complete to complete. Click OK to complete. Now go back to the warehouse screen and refresh. Here you can see the on-hand quantity for the coffee machine filter is updated to 30, as I have updated the physical quantity using inventory count. This is how we do inventory count in our Onfinity system. We have covered how to create a maintenance work schedule in the Onfinity system. Now we will learn how to create auto work schedule by using the maintenance work schedule. For that, click on Menu and search for Auto Work Schedule screen. Open it. Let me give you a brief about auto work scheduling. What is auto work scheduling? You can toggle it. Auto work schedule is a system-generated maintenance plan that automatically schedules tasks or service activities for the asset based on predefined calendar intervals. It helps ensure timely maintenance and reduces the risk of unexpected breakdowns by triggering work orders without manual intervention. In simple terms, it automatically creates and rates work orders based on defined intervals, without manual intervention. Now, I will show you how to create an auto work schedule record in the Onfinity system. Before creating auto work scheduling, we have to create the maintenance work schedule. For reference, I have created a maintenance work schedule record and completed it. The maintenance strategy I have selected is weekly, and it's important that planned work order date should be in the future. Today is 5th August, and I have selected planned work order date as 7th August. Our auto work schedule will start from 7th August. On this schedule, I have added one task: basic inspection of the machine. Now let's go back to Auto Work Scheduling screen. To create a new record, click on New Record. Select the organization for Auto Schedule. This auto schedule record is auto-generated upon save. Select Work Schedule. Let me select 98. Schedule type. There are two options. Fixed is used to create only a single order from the schedule, and strategy-based is used to generate multiple work orders as per the defined strategy in the maintenance work schedule. Let me select strategy-based. Schedule start will automatically be updated from the maintenance work schedule. This is from the planned work order date field. Select the end date. Let me create a schedule for December 14th, 15. So the schedule will run from 7th August to 15th December 2025. Order generation before determines when the system should generate the maintenance order before the planned work order date. For example, if the strategy is to create a work order after 100 days, if I select 10%, then after only 90 days, the system will generate the maintenance work order. You can add any description if needed, then click Save. Upon save, the system will automatically detect whether this auto schedule is related to maintenance work schedule or field schedule. If creating the field auto schedule, the field service work schedule checkbox will become true. Another important checkbox is completion required. The system will not generate the next work order in the line if the previous work order is not completed. It's important and should be marked as required per requirements. Let me show this by creating lines so we can understand better. For creating lines, go to the Action tab and select Generate Work Schedule Lines. Click on Generate Work Schedule Lines. The system will notify that work schedule lines are created successfully. Now go to the Line tab and see the created lines. You can see the work schedule lines and work order dates are created. 7th August, then 14th, 21st, 28th up to 11th December 2025, as per the date range selected in the header. To explain about completion required. Suppose the first work order is created on 7th August and next on 14th. If the first work order status is not completed on 7th August, the system will not generate the next work order on 14th August. The previous work order must be in completed state before the next is generated. You can also skip any particular work order by marking this checkbox as true, and the system will move to the next work schedule date. Toggle the line and show further details. Once a work order is created, the work order number will automatically populate here. If it's a field service schedule, the field service request record will be updated here upon the generation date. Go back to the home screen. This is how we create auto work scheduling in Onfinity system. So, work orders are automatically generated on 7th August, 8th, and so on, as per the line detail created on the auto work scheduling screen. For the system to automatically create work orders, we need to do configuration in Onfinity system. Go to Job Auto Run screen. Click Menu, search for Job Auto Run Configuration. First, what is Job Auto Run Configuration? Job Auto Run Configuration is a feature allowing predefined background tasks or processes to execute automatically without manual intervention. Let me toggle any record and show you. Here you need to enter the name of the job auto run, then select the job. The Schedule tab will have details about the schedule. I will show how we create a schedule. The schedule you have created you need to bind in this field. Here, the supervisor, system to keep log days, 7 days, and the last run date and next run date are updated here. Go to the Schedule tab, click Menu, search Schedule. Here you can see multiple records in the Schedule tab, but let me show those related to auto work schedule. First is weekly. The schedule type has options like frequency, Mondays, or weekdays. This particular schedule runs on specific days of the week. Targets and minutes are set accordingly. Bind the schedule to the job auto run for processing. The system will automatically run background processes and create work orders as per the planned work order date listed in the Lines tab of Auto Work Scheduling. The second is daily scheduling to add lines to auto work scheduling. This is the daily auto scheduling. Frequency set to day per hour. You can set per hour or minute as needed. If selecting daily, checkboxes for all days of the week appear. select the days when you want the schedule to run. Again, bind this particular schedule in the job auto run and process the job auto run. The system will automatically create lines and work orders. This is how job auto run configuration works in Onfinity system. We have learned about the creation of service request to maintenance work order, then creation of maintenance work order from service request, then assigning of the task to technician using scheduling and dispatching form, then how to do inventory use in Onfinity system, then execution of the task from the mobile application, then how to create a new work order request from the mobile application, then inventory count, and at last, how to set up auto work scheduling on the Onfinity system. So that's it for this video for now. Thank you for attending this session.